Okay, there we go. Goodness gracious, we're finally live. Technology, man. My apologies. It's always something. Like I feel like we should have like the actual start time be like so the actual like this time be like 20 minutes before and then like actually start on time because we'd have like the 20 minutes of like shuffling through and trying to figure out all of this stupid technology. But nonetheless, we're live, so we can jump right in. So we've got a pretty cool one today. I know before we were doing a lot of these member spotlights, and we've got one that's near and dear to my heart. One of my good friends that we actually mastermind together, and we've been talking a lot lately. And we kind of just got to the point to where I was just like, I really don't even know what you do, man. Like we talk so much about life and everything else that I don't know what you do. And then we started talking more about what it is that Anthony actually does. And I was like, boom, aha moment. We both had some light bulbs going off, and we're just like, okay, this is something that can definitely parallel in both worlds. And this is something that can definitely help a lot of people. So I think we've got a really cool topic today. And as always, if anybody's got any questions, please put them in the chat. We will gladly answer them. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my good friend, Anthony. And I'm not going to, so my last name is Ima, but I will accept Ima. So your last name, Chopa, right? But
if you want to get really Italian with it, yes. But
you got to do this, like this. What is this emoji? Like this emoji is floating around everywhere. My sister
got that
sends
Italian emoji going.
What is that? Like she'll be like heading over to your house, and then she'll end it with this. I'm just like, what is that?
No, it's Anthony C. Open. Honestly, I don't think anybody in my entire life has really gotten my last name right. I've heard it botched every way that you could think of. So,
is it Chopa, or is it
again? If you want to get super Italian with it, that's the way that it would have been.
Cool.
But it got Americanized over time. So yes, Anthony Ciopa.
Okay, cool. And this will be a good Q&A because I think there's a lot of guys that we mastermind with, and then just a lot of people that we kind of know that probably don't know too much about what you do. You're kind of a ninja, man. You're just out there in the dark, just like helping all sorts of people and doing all sorts of cool things, but none of us actually know what it is that you do. So this will be great. It'll be a great segue into how this can kind of parlay into multifamily. So what do you do, man?
No, perfect. And appreciate you having me on. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring your group and others that view the replay at some point some great value here. If you don't take away anything else, hopefully at least you'll learn about something new that you didn't know about before. So what I do with our company here at American Annuity Funding is we actually purchase future payments from structured settlements, annuities, and lottery annuities. So if you don't know really what that is, on the structured settlement side, those people would have an annuity policy due to a civil lawsuit like personal injury, wrongful death, medical malpractice, unfortunately, bad circumstances that occurred throughout their life that resulted in a settlement. Of course, these funds were maybe spread out over 20, 30, 40-year terms, sometimes for life. On the annuity side, you might be just familiar with an annuity as a very conservative, safe investment vehicle, usually for retirement purposes. And then on the lottery side, you probably just saw the huge $1 billion plus lottery that just occurred. Those people pretty much always have the opportunity to say, do you want the cash now? Or do you want the annuity? The annuity is always that huge number that's advertised and thrown out that's spread out over 20, 30 years. The cash now value is going to be what it's worth today. So again, for people that have those policies, don't have the ability to go direct to the insurance carrier, withdraw funds, they have to assign or sell those future payment rights in order to get the cash now at current fair market value.
Got it. That is a lot to digest, but it makes a lot of sense. So, I mean, where do you come in? Where does your company come in?
So it's usually under a couple circumstances. I prefer the latter that I'll explain. First and foremost, like if someone had their needs or their circumstances change where they really just need access to their money for personal things going on in their life. Maybe 10 years ago when this policy was put into place, they weren't expecting the unexpected to occur. And that money would just be much better suited in their hands now. The latter side of it is investment opportunities. I mean, this is an extremely, extremely conservative investment vehicle. I mean, I think the average that I usually see is when they're put into place, they're only earning between 3 to 5% interest year after year. So very, very low interest. But again, it's it's a very, very safe vehicle as well. But there are instances where we've helped people start a business, invest in a very profitable business already. Real estate, which I think is going to be the topic that we touch on more so here for this group, because the real estate is king. And then all the other alternative investment strategies, like working with financial advisors on kind of a comprehensive plan, have that money invested in stocks, bonds, well diversified, something that's just going to outperform what that annuity was scheduled to do.
Yeah, and we don't necessarily care about any of the other stuff. We just want real estate.
Exactly.
I'm joking.
Exactly.
No, those are all good. Those are all great investment vehicles, and it's always great to diversify. So yeah, I mean, what are some of the misconceptions and kind of wrong information that floats around? Because I don't really feel like this is something that's talked about much, but I'm sure that someone's got, a family member or even themselves or, relative or someone that, is near and dear to them that has something like this going on, right? We all have these spider webs of networks. I'm sure someone has probably heard this, but, there's probably some misinformation floating around.
Yeah, I think kind of maybe the first one immediately is that if you did get a structured settlement from a lawsuit, or once you put an annuity in place, that it's all of a sudden untouchable. Like you can't change it. And on the insurance company side of it, because it's usually insurance companies that own and issue the payments from these policies, that part is true with them. When a contract is in place, they're not changing it no matter what. They've taken that principal kind of initial investment. They have it in their system where they just have to drip out monthly or annual or lump sum payments according to a set schedule. And that misconception is that you're stuck with it. And no, you're actually not. You do have the ability in most cases to sell or assign those payment rights in order to liquidate the policy and essentially get the cash now. Again, the insurance company is not going to change it. They're just changing who they're sending the check to. I think a second thing, once we start kind of discussing options that are available to these people, is time value of money. That's always a huge misunderstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, you're kind of looking at the paperwork or the annuity contract, and you're seeing $500,000 just as a random example, probably listed there on the paperwork. Like, this is what I'm due to receive over 30 years time, 500,000. So why is it only worth, let's just, again, random number, why is it only worth 250,000 today? Having to explain that time value of money to people is always a tough road.
Yeah.
But it's simply
maybe not
just
so
because
much now, though.
yeah, I think
With
the last 2 years of terrible inflation, people are seeing like, okay, yeah, cost of groceries, cost of gas, cost of pretty much any goods or service is going up over time with inflation. And it's the same way with these types of policies. Like, they have to earn that 3 to 5 conservative % of interest per year to eventually grow to show the paper value 30 years from now.
Nice. So historically, I mean, I'm sure like you're probably one of the greatest guys I know, and you love helping people. You've got a servant's heart. So you're probably kind of intertwined with a lot of the cycle of what goes on with, some of your clients. So historically, what are people doing with their money? Like, what are you seen them do with their money?
So there's a wide variety of reasons. I've named a couple of them, but just to kind of recap, getting out of bad situations. On the real estate side, it would be buying a personal home, coming up with a down payment, maybe doing home renovations to add to the equity, starting a business, investing in their current business, purchasing a vehicle, paying off high interest debt. Again, there's a wide number of reasons, but at the end of the day, no matter the reason, it has to be in the best interest of the individual. So This isn't just let's make an offer, sign paperwork, and get started. That's just the beginning. We have to go through a court-ordered process. I think I might have lowered my mic. Apologize about that. Can you still hear me okay?
Oh yeah, just fine. Can you hear me? Give me one of these if you can hear me.
Hold on a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound like we're doing one of those old Sprint commercials. Can you hear me now? Good.
Sorry, if you can still hear me, I apologize about that. Having a little bit of
Yeah, I can hear
technical
you.
difficulties. My volume went completely shot. I don't know if there's a setting. Hold on.
Yeah, so if you let me see. Okay, so can you hear me now? I just sent you some instructions if you can hear me. Oh, I lost him. But yeah, I think what he was about to get into was some of the ways that you can kind of parlay that into real estate. So, as Anthony mentioned, historically, a lot of his clients have used that money to start businesses and do other things um, of that nature, or satisfy other debts, or pay for upcoming expenses. But we kind of had an aha moment where we were just like, okay, what about the ones that don't have any of those immediate needs
All
and
right.
want to see a greater return on their money? So yeah, I was just
Can
telling
you?
them about how. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there,
No,
but
no,
I think we
no.
got the issue resolved luckily, so we're good.
There's something in the water, man. I had some technical difficulties earlier, but yeah, I was just saying that we had that aha moment when we were just like, okay, what about the people that maybe just want to earn a greater percentage on their money? And
Correct.
what would that look like? Like we had this whole like master scheme, but in all honesty, I mean, you just kind of simplified it. It's like, yeah, after the whole process, they get their funds, and it's like they place it in XYZ, right?
Yeah, and I mean, again, I apologize for getting cut off there for a minute or two, but kind of just the maybe elaborate a little bit. Um, I prefer, honestly, to work with the people that are using their funds for investment opportunities because I want to be able to keep in touch with them 5, 10, 20 years down the road and have them be extremely thankful for being able to access those funds and kind of improve the living situation or the financial freedom aspect of their and their family's life, whereas it wouldn't have been the case with the policy left as is. And I think another kind of common misunderstanding is that, like, someone in my situation from the company that's helping you get access to your funds, I don't want to always have to work with the people that are in emergency situations, like because those are the people that are usually like taking the money, immediately spending it on that immediate need, and 10 years from now they might look at it as a potential mistake. Although it satisfied that need at that time in the moment, it probably was a huge stress relief to be
Yeah,
able to get that monkey off their back. But the investment side is where the long-term winning can certainly occur.
nice. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I think that is a pretty good overview, man. Like, I'll be honest, like I had no idea about any of this stuff before
Yeah.
we talked. So like it's amazing. I think it's another tool in the toolbox for a lot of people. And then, like we talked about on the investment side, I mean, this is a way that people can get funding for their deals, right?
Correct.
So definitely tap into your network and start asking questions. The only way you find out these answers is to ask questions and not be a secret agent, right? So if you're trying to get started in real estate, you're trying to make moves, you got to let people know what you're doing. And that's how you start to uncover these things. Like you and I would have basically never known what each other did and how we could,
Yeah.
help each other in our daily endeavors if we hadn't just started connecting. So definitely get out there and connect.
Well, let's use that as an example real quick. You and I were discussing the big 100, I think 172 unit complex that you guys just acquired in Tulsa, correct?
Yep.
And what was the rate of return that you were offering outside investors to come in on that project with you?
Yeah, so we're going to average anywhere. I mean, we always under promise and over deliver, but we're going to probably be around 10, 11, maybe 12% cash on cash return.
Okay. So in finance and investing from like a financial advisor perspective, there's always like a rule of 72. Is that something that you're familiar with or
yeah.
kind of briefly? Okay. So yeah, with the rule of 72, you're basically dividing 72 by the rate of return in which you're getting, and through compounding interest over time, that's how many years it'll take your investment to double. So let's talk about like an annuity, for example. If the average is 3 to 5%, let's just call it 4 to make it a nice round number. 4, according to that rule, would take you 18 years to double your investment. So if you started out with 100,000, you're gonna have to wait 18 years to make it 200,000. So let's go to the high end of what you just said and say 12%. According to the rule of 72, 12% is only going to take you 6 years to double your funds.
How are you figuring this out? Did you take notes? Or is this just off of your head?
No,
You're a wizard.
I've gone through numbers a lot, but I mean,
oh my gosh!
If you're doubling
AI,
your money,
man.
But if you're doubling your money on 12% every 6 years, and you do the same 18-year time span, you've doubled your money on 3 separate occasions. So the first 6, you've gone from 1 to 200. The next 6, you're going from 2 to 4, and that last is from 4 to 8. So 12% return through your type of investment strategy through multifamily real estate, that 100,000 turns to 800 in 18 years, where a very, very low conservative 4% annuity is only turning 100 into 200,000. Huge difference. Huge difference. Big 18 years from now.
Huge difference. So yeah, I mean, is there any other pertinent information that you'd like to tell people? I mean, obviously, like you can, give a shout out to your company. How can they reach out to you if anybody is working on something like this or knows of somebody that may be in a situation where they could use your help? How can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, you could always go to the website, americanannuityfunding.com. You can reach out to me. You have my spelling of my name properly right here. Connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, pretty much any social media platform. You can look me up and connect. As it pertains to this group, though, I think that there's kind of 2 ways that it could work. Like whether it's you yourself or maybe close family, close friends that may have the type of policy that I've discussed already. If you see the benefit in multifamily real estate and that those funds would be better allocated for yourself or those individuals, educate them, like let them know that this type of option exists and that they're not stuck with those policies. They do have the ability to liquidate, and it could benefit you in multiple ways. Like if it's yourself, make a better return on your money. If it's others, I know a lot of people in multifamily want to invest or do an investment with other people's money so that way they can fund their project and they're kind of the manager operator. And if you're able to raise funds with this type of strategy, you're probably going to be one of the few real estate people doing it, because this is the first time that I'm discussing it. So I appreciate you, Toby, for having me on and kind of
course, man.
enlightening and educating your group about it. But it really is. I mean, you hear people all the time in other segments talking about take your 401k or IRA money and use it to purchase real estate.
That often. Yeah.
Correct. And it's a better way because you can't touch that money until you're of retirement age and age 65. But with these policies, you can gain access to the money now, start maximizing it, have control over your own funds and your own financial freedom.
Nice. I love it. So we got a few more minutes. So I had a couple other questions. You're in the group. What are some of your investment goals? I mean, where do you see yourself, jumping into any real estate deals or anything? I know you're in South Florida, hot market. definitely
Correct.
would love to come visit you and jump in that pool of yours. Um,
No,
what are you
I
looking to do, man?
for me with this group, I'd love to like network, meet a lot of the other individuals that are a part of this group that have great experience with multifamily. Up until this point, the only experience in real estate that I personally have is with single family, between my personal residence as well as an investment property that I had that was cash flowing as a long-term rental. I recently flipped it due to the market and how hot it got down here. It was just a better decision, in my opinion, at the time to take the money now and go a different route for at least the time being. But maybe that other opportunity is multifamily because
I think so.
I'm an outsider looking in and I'm learning more as we go. But with multifamily, you're able to accumulate more doors in one central location. You're not having to manage as many properties as if you're accumulating single families, and
We
that's
call
really
that
appealing.
scale, man. Yeah, that's where it's at. So yeah, we just had a question come in. Answer that now or later, whatever you choose.
Yeah. What was the question?
Can you see it on the screen? Can you
Oh,
discuss the tax
perfect.
advantages?
So, a couple ways about that. And again, I'm not a tax professional myself, but I can give you, the insights that I've kind of taken from it. On the lottery side, the lottery, you're going to have to pay taxes no matter what. From my understanding, and maybe it's something that Toby could elaborate on a little bit better, is in the multifamily sector, if you were to invest those funds in real estate instead, maybe you could do that cost segregation study and have the immediate tax break from your
Yeah,
investment that you wouldn't otherwise have with lottery. On the structured settlement side, those are usually, in most cases, tax free as they are. So, of course, if you're investing, you're going to have to pay capital gains tax on whatever profits you're making on the money. There's just, unfortunately, probably not too much way around that. But I'm sure you can strategize and kind of write off some of the gains due to depreciation.
100%, man. You're already in multifamily. You know the game, man. So yeah, man, this has definitely been a pleasure. It's always great to jump on the call with you and just kind of hang out with you. Just two bros getting at it. And yeah, I hope you guys got some value from this. Like Anthony mentioned earlier, feel free to reach out to him. He is in the group. He is around. We're all here to help. We're all here to grow together. And if you guys have any other resources that you may think of that you would like us to discuss, feel free to reach out to us. And I hope everybody has a great day. Do you have any closing remarks?
No, thanks again for having me. I understand that this business, this message may not be for everybody in this group, but hopefully somebody in here was able to walk away with some, added insight, added knowledge, and maybe we are able to help somebody transition some of those funds into real estate.
I think so, man. Can't thank you enough, man. Really appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right.